Hello, I'm Courtney Holland. Welcome to the latest episode of Save Our Towns, a series designed to guide and inspire those who are working hard in Appalachia to build strong communities. In this episode, you'll see how the town of Fries made a smart business transaction involving its assets. You'll hear some quick back-to-back views from an annual conference in Roanoke devoted to the theme of small cities, big ideas. We'll offer an expert tip and your second look at our new segment, Maxwell's Number. And as always, we close with 3 questions for a mayor. First, this month's Example of Awesome story is reported in Fries by recent Virginia Tech graduate Abby Young. The fortunes of Fries changed overnight when its textile mill closed. The town has now embarked on an ambitious plan involving land where that mill once operated.
Situated on the New River, Fries offers a scenic setting that many Appalachian towns can only dream of. The landscape next to the George Washington and Jefferson National Forests lends itself to water sports, horseback riding, camping, and more. The New River Trail runs to Galax, but, like other towns, Fries has history to contend with. All its eggs were in one basket, a textile mill that opened in 1903.
The textile mill here in Fries closed in 1988, and at the time there were thousands of people that worked there, and the community was really supported completely by the mill, so of course the economic standing of the town just plummeted once the mill essentially abandoned the community.
So the town, having dwindled from 2,000 to about 500 residents, was left with big problems, but also some physical assets. They went in and out of town ownership, including the former mill site and acreage, plus a fire station, and a bingo hall and garage. A river lot was also part of the deal.
A few years ago, the town transferred ownership of all of its properties to the Blue Ridge Crossroads Economic Development Authority, a move that turned out to be key.
With state funding, the old properties were cleaned up. Thousands of dollars went into grading the site, demolishing rundown buildings, and building a new fire station. The stage was then set for a sale to a private developer who shares the town's tourism vision.
The town of Fries partnered with the Blue Ridge Crossroads Economic Development Authority in the early mid-2000s to help market the Washington Mill site, because at the time the town of Fries didn't have the resources or know-how to take on an initiative that big. Over the years we've met with many types of developers, even some hotel chains, and here recently Gus Hill, a Fries native and developer, has purchased the site, and we hope in the near future we'll see the economy turn around in this small town.
The developers' plans are expected to capitalize on town leaders' plans to promote outdoor recreation.
It's been a slow, laborious process, but the town is getting on board and opening up opportunity for the people to come in. We've been in business going into our 11th year now. The business is just exceeding my expectations. We get people from all over this country and actually from all over the world. We've had people from New Zealand, from Australia, from Germany, Switzerland. They just come because they love the area.
When the mill closed in 1988, the Washington Post called the town unable to compete with the world's least developed countries. 20 years later, the Richmond Times-Dispatch reported that the town's leaders are convinced they're sitting on a mountain treasure.
Today, the question is open. Will Fries go from company town to mountain mecca? With a plan that made smart use of property, town leaders hope not only to survive, but also to flourish.
Now for a slight change of pace. We're skipping our Cleveland update this month to take you to the CityWorks Expo in Roanoke. We asked a dozen people at the conference 2 questions. What is the essence of a small town, and what is your favorite small town?
The essence of a small town is the vibe that you get when you enter as well as when you leave.
The essence of a small town? Community, of course.
I think the essence of a small town is really the people that are in it and the programs that you can create from that.
Is to be able to hold the door open for somebody and to make eye contact with them and say, hey, how are you, and mean it.
To me, the essence of a small town is its people, its community.
It's a place where the community is really, brought together in a way that's coherent.
I've been to bigger cities, and and it's too wild and crazy. And smaller city, you know people, and it's great to know people. And
Small town is friendship. Small town is being able to get from here to there on your 2 feet.
My favorite small town is Greensboro, North Carolina. That's where I was born, and it's where I live now.
My favorite small town is Bend, Oregon.
Roanoke.
My favorite small town would be Augusta, Georgia.
Other than here, I quite like visiting Lexington, Charlottesville.
When I was a kid, I took a trip with my family to Mount Airy, North Carolina. I'm a fan of the Andy Griffith Show growing up, and that's kind of the Mayberry town, and so I remember that. I've been back several times since.
I'm from Ferndale, Michigan, and that's one of my favorite small towns. It's a place where you can walk down the street and wave to neighbors.
Stanton has turned out to be not only beautiful and interesting and quaint as a destination, but also a great place to live. Charlottesville to me has such charm, and it's just very artsy.
Well, I've been to Asheville before, and I found Asheville very charming. That's probably a favorite one of a lot of people, so. Yeah.
Woodville, Virginia, actually is where I'm from.
Roanoke, Virginia. The one I picked to live in. I'm from LA, and I came to live here. So this is my favorite small town.
And now it's time for Maxwell's Number. Maxwell Vandervliet took time off from working on his master's degree in urban and regional planning to dig up a number for you. As you just heard, small town life revolves around people, and Maxwell's been counting them.
Do you remember being 19? Was it a happy time? The prime of your life? Turns out 19 is both a happy and a prime number. You know what a prime number is, but we'll have to check out Wikipedia to find out what a happy number is. So why are we talking about the number 19? 19 is the number of towns in Appalachian, Virginia with resident populations under 500. You can bet that everyone knows each other's name in a town that small. Clinchport, Virginia in Scott County wins the tiniest town distinction with just 68 residents. Now that's a small town.
Your expert tip comes from Ethan Kent, who spoke not only at the CityWorks Expo in Roanoke, but also at a workshop at Virginia Tech in Blacksburg.
We need to make our towns places to drive to, not necessarily through as much. We want people to want to get out of their car, to walk, to bump into people. In the best main streets, we find that people, it's not easy to park right in the center of it. You actually want to park outside, and you plan a few things to do, and you do several more things that you didn't plan when you go there, and many of those things are very social.
You can read a transcript of the complete interview at the Save Our Towns website, where Kent details what small towns can do to safeguard their public spaces. Click on the Connect with Experts tab. Next, here are 2 faculty members and an extension agent whose work you might find useful. In a fascinating project, Robert Oliver in the Department of Geography and Valerie Thomas in the Department of Forest Resources and Environmental Conservation are charting urban growth in Appalachia by investigating patterns of urban land conversion. They work with a new federal category called micropolitan statistical areas, or communities designed to capture the level of urbanization between large metropolitan areas and smaller rural places. Key points of their work include showing that Appalachia is not as rural as most people think. They have also shown that looking back over 10 years, Central Appalachia continues to exhibit regional economic disparity. Sandy Shortridge encourages middle school students to discover and develop talents while enhancing communication skills and self-confidence. She provides students with a heritage program which includes the use of Appalachian music, musical instruments, and creative writing. She demonstrates how stories with a local Appalachian mountain flavor can creatively be turned into written stories, poems, or songs. Students are then given the opportunity to express themselves through creative writing and also by communicating their completed masterpieces. For more information, go to the Save Our Towns website. You'll find Oliver and Thomas under the VT Projects tab and Shortridge under the Extension tab. Now we return to Freeze to ask 3 questions of the mayor.
Richard Farmer, Mayor of the town of Freeze. I think the one word I would use nestled in along New River and these beautiful mountains would be scenic. The biggest challenge the town faces is occupant-ready retail space. We believe that we can attract people to come and to live and to work and to have retail businesses here. What we're lacking is the space for them to do those businesses. I think I'd like them to know that if they come for a visit, they might just stay for a lifetime.
For more resources and contact information for the experts we interview, go to the Save Our Towns website. And please send your thoughts to saveourtowns@vt.edu. This is episode 4 of season 3. Be sure to join us next time. Thanks for watching.